Welcome to movement-based core training. You're about to see the medicine ball program, but what we wanted you to do is go back and reconsider those same functional movement patterns before you start training with a medicine ball. You can do anything with a medicine ball. It's a very, very easily adaptable exercise device. However, we don't want you to waste time. If somebody's already got a movement pattern, if somebody's already got good power in one plane, don't waste their time. Let's work on what they don't have. If you base the medicine ball program on the movement pattern problem, you've got a much better chance of activating motor learning, getting core reflexes, and basically improving their stamina and power in that particular movement pattern that once gave them a problem. So we're going to get real specific and real concise with the medicine ball program and only work on that movement pattern that they did not have. Now hopefully you've done the work. You've found the movement problem, you've taken them through some basic stretches to improve that movement problem, you've done some core training for that problem, but now we got to add power to it. Because what we found is if you don't train people at or near the speed of competition, they're not going to motor learn for the speed of competition. What we've got to do is use the medicine ball to get those movements crisp and fast. Because the medicine ball, if you use a light enough medicine ball, a reactive ball that bounces, then you can sort of get them moving at or near the speed of competition, which is going to make it much more specific. Once again, if you want a reference for reactive neuromuscular training, what I'd like you to do is look at Chapter 8 in Techniques of Musculoskeletal Rehabilitation. Under this, we don't specifically talk about medicine ball, but we talk about how any type of reactive training helps motor learning. Now, what we're going to do is address the medicine ball, but instead of going to all 7 tests here, we're taking it down to your 3 power stances in most sports, which are squatting, stepping, and lunging. You've got to make sure that the medicine ball drill stimulates the appropriate reaction. We're going to set somebody up and have them throw to the right and left. We're going to have them throw as hard as they can, maybe with a bounce pass using a chop pattern, and show them a left-right asymmetry and give them an opportunity to work on that. It's very important that you use these high-speed movements with a medicine ball to continue to hammer the left-right difference or a major restriction. They've got to know about it, they've got to feel it, or it basically doesn't count when motor learning's at stake. So, minimize verbal and visual input, let the movement teach the movement. It's a self-limiting exercise. Once again, we're going to use the chop and lift as your upper body patterns. We're going to use the squat, lunge, and a variation of the lunge, which is the hurdle step, we're going to use for your 3 major foot positions with which to generate power from. Now, notice, Keith is not in a deep squat position. Keith is in a double leg stance. And when somebody throws the medicine ball straight into a wall from a squat stance, that's good, but it doesn't tell us anything about their left-right power transfer. A lot of times when you tell somebody to maintain squat stance and then throw to the left or right, they immediately change their stance into a lunge. We want them to maintain squat stance and use a shoulder turn here. We don't want them switching stances because we're going to train lunge stance a different way. So in squat stance, the last thing you want to see is the knee behind the throw cave in. That means they're changing to a lunge stance. Maintain wide knees, almost like you're riding a horse. Bend the knees, ankles dorsiflexed, spine tall, and we're going to throw left and right. Look for asymmetries there. It's great to use a situation where 2 walls, like on a racquetball court or in a corridor with cinder block walls, excellent feedback for the athlete because they can automatically see their reactions or powers down on one side. If you're training with 1 wall, just make sure you have the appropriate distance, right and left, and then you can see differences. Now, with the hurdle step, we do one of 2 things. We throw the ball and flex the hip, or we throw the ball and extend the hip. Either way, you're in single leg stance, and you're using 1 leg stance and then core stability between the upper and lower body to transfer your power into a movement. That's an extremely beneficial exercise in 1 leg or single leg stance training. Jump training, kick training, or cutting or high-speed stepping, this will be beneficial. The lunge is where you get your start speed from. The lunge is your low center of gravity, that's your cutting, your turning, and your starting. And what we actually do is have you throw the ball in a lift position against a wall, almost doing a duck walk. And if you can't cycle through and do your lunge stance, maintain a tall spine, you're not going to catch the ball that you just threw. So it's a self-limiting exercise as well, and I want you to see that and take note of some of the ways we train that on the video. What you've just seen are medicine ball exercises applied specifically to a stance or a foot position. Hopefully, with the movement screen, in most athletes, you'll be able to discern where's their problem. Are they more limited in squatting? Do they have an imbalance in hurdle stepping? Or are they more limited, or do they have an imbalance in lunging? Pick that problem, do the core training, do the stretches of that problem, get them to speed really quick with the medicine ball, show them a right-left difference, and have them work on that till they can demonstrate equal power left and right. What we're going to do is go to the video now, take time, learn the exercises, rewind, do what you got to do, but get these techniques down. It's very exciting, and this again is at the speed of competition, so this is how you really lock in motor learning. Thank you.